Blog Talk Radio.
It's Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, on the Blog Talk Radio Network. Once again, it's time for the most intriguing talk radio on the internet today. This is Sasquatch Radio. Breaking news and information from around the world. Interviews with men and women investigating the mystery. The latest high-tech equipment. Cutting-edge research techniques. And amazing discoveries. Real-life people sharing real-life encounters. The director and founder of Sasquatch, Washington, Virginia. Here is your host, Billy Willard. Something is out there in the dark, watching, waiting. It's time to unleash the beast. This is Sasquatch Radio.
All right, welcome everyone to the show. Today is November 23rd, 2009. It's almost Turkey Day, folks. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Billy Willard of Sasquatch, Washington, Virginia. And please welcome my great co-host, Mr. Mike Killen. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Hey, Billy. I'm just fine. Thanks for asking. I'd just like to say hi to all our...
Y'all getting any of this rain up there?
Yeah, no, not today. It was threatening. It was looking like it was going to rain all day, but just didn't come down. Maybe a little mist in some areas might have got like a drizzle, but that's about it. But just want to say hi to our friends popping into the chat there. Hey guys, and everybody out there listening. Yep,
it's great to have everybody on board with us here to listen to this great show. We've got a wonderful guest tonight. And just to give everybody a little bit of information, her name is Shannon Wallace. She's she's actually up in Mike Killen's area. They're up in Long Island, New York. She's a book author, and she has written a book called The Farm. And what we'll do is we'll get her on the line, and we'll let her tell everyone a little bit about herself and, what really gave her the idea for the book. So how you doing tonight, Shannon?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you guys?
Doing just fine. It's great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been writing books, and what really gave you the idea for this book?
This one I started about 5 years ago. It actually takes place in Warrensburg, New York, which is near Lake George. A lot of people vacation in Lake George, and I have property up there. I didn't realize until after I started writing the book that a lot of people reported seeing Bigfoot in that area.
Right.
And what got me interested is it's actually a little bit of an urban legend that people say that along Spoon River Road they see Bigfoot late at night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I never seen it, but there are no streetlights up there. It is very dark, so when I'm up there at night, you do get scared, and that something's out there, but you just don't know what it is. So something I just thought about and always think about when I'm up there, and I just started writing about it, and it just became a story in my head, and then I put it on paper, and then now it's a book.
Yep, that's great. That's great. Now, me and Mike both know a little bit about that area, right, Mike?
Oh, yeah, definitely, no doubt. I can say for sure that there's definitely activity up in that area of the Adirondacks. That's basically where my research group does the vast majority of our research in the Adirondack Park, and we've been all through the southern part of the park, and we've been right by Whitehall. We've been probably just a few miles from Warrensburg.
Any findings?
Oh well. I mean, we haven't found hard evidence per se, but we've got some unusual stuff recorded, we had some weird stuff happen that we didn't get recorded. We had a couple of pheromone ships go missing that we had tagged with a GPS, the exact locations we put them out, and they were missing. We all got growled at by something that we don't know what it was, and we couldn't match the growl to any known. I listened to over 100 different animal clips as well as my friend Chris did, and we couldn't find a match basically to what growled at us. And we've had our share of interesting things up there. And Billy's friend Tom actually had a sighting on one of our expeditions up there.
Yeah, not too far from Lake George, actually. He had a sighting I think this was back in 2005, fall of 2005. He had a sighting of a creature up there by one of the remote ponds in the area, and it shook him up pretty bad.
That's funny you mentioned the ponds, because even though my book is fiction, it does touch upon the ponds and the lily pads and their attraction to them and the wind chimes.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That whole area was just wonderful, though. I mean, it's just amazing, because that was my first trip to New York. Everybody thinks of New York as this big bustling city,
No, definitely not.
And no, you get up in that area, and there's places back there that there's not houses for miles when you get up in the Adirondacks. It's just amazing.
Right.
So, a lot of wilderness area up there.
And it's dark. There's no light for miles.
No. It's definitely that's definitely the true definition of dark.
Yeah.
So how about the now this book? You said it took you about 5 years to write. Can you give everybody kind of an idea?
You know what it is? I stopped, and I was writing other books in between, and I decided to publish this one first.
Yeah.
With all the monster quest going on. And because it is Bigfoot and it is a good topic, and people that read my book and my manuscript, they just couldn't wait for it to come out. So I had stopped my other writings and just went ahead with this one.
Right. Now, because I know the next question that most people will have here is, where can they get the book?
Well, I do have a website, ShannonWallaceNovels.com.
Okay.
And I am going on tour to various bookstores, Barnes & Noble, Walden Books, and that'll be up on my website.
Okay, so ShannonWallaceNovels.com.
That's correct.
I just typed that into the chat room so that all the folks in there have that. Okay, yep, it's in there. Now, this book took you, I had something on the edge of my tongue. Now I done lost it. It was right when you were talking about something that brought something up.
Well, 5 years, but you know what it was? With all the research coming in on Bigfoot, I would have something, like you mentioned before, they said it sounded like a growl. And with all the different research coming in, it changed. It was like a bear growl and a wolf howling, and then it was a combination. So I had to keep changing along with the modern research.
Right. So you tried to keep the book in with a lot of the modern things that people, I guess, describe when they have a sighting or things that they hear.
Oh, absolutely. And along with, I followed all the stories and all the reportings. And then there were people say, oh, they're rogue. And then, no, they hunt in packs and their families and their pods. And depending on which areas. And then I just there was so much information, and so many of it was conflicting, and so many of it was, I just kind of went with the majority.
Right.
And then the color differed. There was reddish brown, there was black, I just kind of went with what I thought was the most realistic. Right.
Well, we've already got callers stacking up, probably to ask you questions, Shannon.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and get a couple of these. I think this first caller is probably a Skype caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Billy and Mike and Shannon, how are you guys doing? It's Elusive One.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, you guys. I do got a question for Shannon, as a matter of fact. In writing your book, what type of research did you do exactly? I mean, did you go out and talk to the locals that had the sightings? did you do any, little expeditions yourself in the area, or what all type of research did you do?
Well, I am familiar with the area. Like I said, I have a vacation house in Warrensburg, and I would go and hike behind the woods and got lost a few times. So I did have the experience of being scared in the woods and not knowing exactly what is out there and hearing sounds that I just couldn't pinpoint what it was. Not saying it was Bigfoot or, a bobcat or a bear, or because I just didn't know. But just being scared out there is enough. Just to have a story, anyhow. I did a lot of internet research, and I did talk to a lot of locals out there, and nobody really knows what it is, but everybody has that same feeling of just being scared. A few people say they saw something. A lot of people said, yeah, it was definitely Bigfoot, but nobody has any evidence. So I just kind of took it and said, you know what, whether it is or it isn't, this is a great story.
Yeah. And do you plan on writing another Bigfoot novel, and if so, would it be nonfiction?
No, I don't think I'm going to write a nonfiction book, but I am going to write another fiction novel.
Okay, good deal. Other than that, that's all I have for you guys right now. If you could just put me on mute, I'd love to listen in.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for calling in, Abe.
Thank you.
All right, and before I get to Mike, let me take this other caller here. We got a caller, got another caller, I think, from the New York area, 516 area code. You're on the air.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, how you doing? This is John from Merrick. How are you?
Hey, John, how you doing, man? I ain't heard you for a long time.
How you been?
Very good. How about you?
Very good, thank you. So I hear we have Shannon on the line, right? Correct?
Yes.
Yep.
How are you, Shannon?
Fine, and you?
Very good. I really enjoyed the book and thoroughly, and I'd like to ask you a question on that.
Okay.
How would you relate yourself or putting some of your life experiences, or where would you put yourself in this book into one of the characters? Because I find it fascinating on all the characters that you used around Bigfoot, and how some of the chapters relate to the fear of Bigfoot, and then bringing the reality of families up around Warrensburg. So where would you put yourself as a character into this novel?
Actually, Bigfoot is based on the theory of a serial killer. I studied serial killers in college, and the Ted Bundy theory and his MO. And if you read the book, then you know that the way I portrayed Bigfoot is he thinks and acts like a serial killer. And that's how he goes about and picks his victims.
Okay.
So as I would go, there is a detective in it, and the detective catches on the fact that Bigfoot actually moves like a serial killer. So the detective throughout the book feels and thinks that that's who he's hunting for, is a serial killer. Whereas others feel, the locals from the Warrensburg area feel, no, right away they know it's Bigfoot. And that's what makes it a suspense mystery, is people, they don't know what they're looking for. And because all the different directions that Bigfoot takes, they don't know what it is.
Okay, well, I thank you for your time, and I really enjoyed the read, and I hope other people pick it up and enjoy that read also. Thank you very much.
Thanks, John.
No problem. Take it easy, huh?
Yep, you too, bud.
Bye.
All right, Mike, I'll let you get to those questions that I know that are in that chat room waiting for you.
Yeah, we got a couple. Here. This one from Creature Seeker. I think he's just trying to be funny, but it's in all caps, so I'll read it. He says, Billy, can you ask Shannon if we can cast one of her tracks at the next book signing?
I don't know if we can talk Shannon, and if I can bring some topsoil in there in a box, and she'll step in it and let us do that. I guess we could do that. You don't have a size 12, do you, Shannon?
No, I'm a size 6.
Maybe you could give a little impromptu class on proper casting techniques there, Billy.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Oh, only brief.
That was a good one, though.
Okay, then we have from our friend Bill Green. He wants to know if Shannon investigates any encounters and if your book is on Amazon.
Not yet. It'll be on Amazon in 2 months. And I did used to be a private investigator, but no, never investigated any Bigfoots.
Okay, but the book will be on Amazon in the near future.
Yeah, for now you could get it on my website.
Okay, all right. So there you go, Bill. If you
and each copy is an autographed copy.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So you want to get it right away, Bill, and you can get it from Shannon's website. It's ShannonWallaceNovels.com, or if you don't have the money and you wait a little while, then it'll be on Amazon in a couple of months. Okay, and where is another question here? Oh, these guys kill me. All right, this is from John Cartwright. I think this is also kind of a joke, but hey, he's got it in caps, so I'll read it. He wants to know if he can rent. Says, can we rent her vacation house and go squatching in Lake George?
Well, I share it with my uncle. I'll have to get back to him on that.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
Come on, guys.
I guess somebody had to ask it. I guess.
I guess it is a good question.
Nothing. I'm looking. Nothing specifically on the book yet, but I'll keep checking.
All right. Goodness. Anyway, so Shannon, have you ever had a sighting yourself of anything?
No. Like I said, I heard sounds, and it's so dark I couldn't see anything.
Okay. That particular area, I take it the cabin area is probably, is there other cabins around, or is it pretty remote there?
No, it's pretty remote. I mean, there are neighbors, but you can't really see them. I mean, in the day you can, but at nighttime, and I'd say each neighbor is about a quarter mile away.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good area.
Yeah, so that's pretty remote.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
You're
I'm gonna
up
get my
there
nothing like Long Island.
Yeah.
No, nothing at all. You're up there in the Adirondack Park in Warrensburg, so that's that any place in the Adirondack Park is a pretty good area if you're going to be looking for Squatch, if you're looking for activity.
Right.
Let me get I'm pulling out my list of questions here. I always have a list ready. I'm going to get those out here, and most of these questions are going to be based on. A lot of people like to hear people's theories and what they think about this thing. So the questions that you'll hear are going to be a lot based on that. Just different stories that you hear of beliefs that people have about these things. Now, have you ever thought about actually becoming a Bigfoot researcher, quote unquote?
You know what? I did see in a lot of my research. I saw that they have these expeditions, and people are welcome to come on. And I did think about it. I really did. And I have two dogs that would love to join me actually. And I just can't fit it into my schedule right now.
Yeah.
But I really would like to do it.
Yeah, it's well, just so you know, the group that me and Mike were talking about is actually called Nezra. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're up that way.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Well, we're both members of Nezra, and that's who we went with on expedition up there. So, real everyone in the group is a very friendly group, and you're more than welcome to come on to we have a forum where we discuss things with each other. So you're more than welcome to join in on that if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd like that.
And more importantly, if in the future you do find yourself with some time and you you seriously want to get out there on a real, couple of day long expedition and really get out there, unlike some other groups who I'll refrain from mentioning at this time, we don't charge for our expeditions, and it's really easy to become a member of NESRA, and we do get out there a couple of times a year and go on the expedition. So.
And how long are these expeditions?
Generally several days. But we do also have now these are what I'm calling expeditions, are like where we try to round up the troops, so to speak, and get as many people to participate that are NESRA members as possible. But that's a few times a year. All through the year, many of our members are doing their own short side expeditions or side research trips, and some of those are just a day long. Sometimes they'll just go for a day of hiking, in an area, 6 or 8 hours or whatever. So, we do short-term stuff, and we do several day expeditions. So. Yeah,
I'd definitely be interested in that.
Okay, I'll send you a link to the forum, and then you can sign up to that and just kind of get on there and start talking to everyone if you'd like. I'm sure everybody would love that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Let's see here.
Another thing I mentioned in the book is the Sagamore Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
That there is a scene that involves that. That's another vacation spot, and my books will be on sale at the hotel up there. People.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, people, and also various spots throughout the village in Lake George.
Right. Now, are you going to be, do you have, any book signings or anything scheduled?
Not yet. I'm still working on that.
Okay.
Like I said, I have other books that I'm working on, so I'm concentrating on my writing right now, so I haven't really booked any tours for the area yet.
All right. Well, I mean, if you ever, once you have your schedule or whatever, feel free to call into our show one Monday night and give everybody the date and where you're going to be at. You can just call in and just, let everybody know.
Oh, absolutely.
So people love that too. So I think we have a caller on the line. I know who this is. This is Mr. Henry May down in Mississippi.
Yep, it's me. Hey, Billy, Mike.
Hey, Henry.
And hello to your guest, Miss Wallace.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. First of all, I'm a big fan of crypto fiction. I'm wondering if you're familiar with authors such as D.L. Tanner or Jay Kumar or Pete Travers. And also, there was one other, Matthew Scott Hansen. He wrote a book. His style of the descriptions of Sasquatch was that it was like a killer, and it kind of saw humans as the little 2 foot, or I can't remember exactly what he described it as, but the humans were not well regarded by the Sasquatch, and he kind of wrote from the perspective of the Sasquatch in some aspects of the story, The Shadow Killer, book that he wrote. I was wondering, that's my first question, are you familiar with any of those other crypto fiction authors?
No, I'm not. I'm not familiar with those authors, but I just saw an advertisement for The Shadow Killers, and I was just going to purchase that book recently. I just saw that. I heard that was a very good book.
It is. It's very violent, though. If it was a movie, it would be rated R. No question about it.
Yeah, okay. No, I like that stuff. That would be good.
Yeah. And second of all, I understand you live on Long Island, and I'm sure, I don't know if you're familiar with some of the reports that have come from Long Island, especially back in the 70s. There was a book co-written by Bill Brand, Bruce Hallenbeck, and Paul and Robert Bartholomew called Monsters of the North Woods, which talked about reports from Long Island. I didn't know if you were familiar with that or not.
Well, there's a couple of areas on Long Island that's referred to as the North Woods. Do you know which area specifically that they were talking about?
One area was Amityville. Was close to Amityville.
Okay.
There's been about 10 sightings on Long Island, but most of them took place prior to like 1935. It was like in the early 30s, 20s, and before. But supposedly there was one sighting allegedly as late as 1960, but I don't know if I put my stock in that one. But in the 20s and 30s, it's very possible because Long Island was very rural back then, to say the least, and there definitely had been sightings. Even in New York City, there's been sightings. A lot of people don't know that.
No, I never heard of the New York City one.
Yep, there's been.
Well, of course, there was that recent report from Nick Redfern about one about a supposedly a short, hairy creature seen in Central Park.
Well,
that might have just been a pedestrian.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but there actually were sightings back in like 1895 in New York City, and actually, now that I remember, there supposedly were 3 sightings as late as 1973 on Staten Island. There's a nature preserve there. They call it the Greenbelt. There's an area where it's just undeveloped, and allegedly there was 3 sightings in a like 1 month time period. It was 2 in December of '74 and 1 in January of '75.
Yeah, I know the Staten Islands had a few sightings. They called it they called it something, the trash squatch or something like that, because it would raid people's trash cans.
Yeah.
Well, also because Staten Island they call it a dump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why they call it that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, people don't know. People are surprised when they hear that there actually were past sightings in New York City on Long Island. Long time ago.
Yeah. But pretty cool.
Yep.
I find it interesting. They're always looking to discredit these people who report the sightings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's the reason a lot of people don't talk about it. The fear of ridicule is very strong.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. They'll look into your background and.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. So they'll look at all the people who don't like you and who has something against you. Yeah. They'll go to your boss who probably hates you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
he already thinks you're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. They'll always find something bad to say about you, but they'll never ask somebody who actually likes you, like your mother or.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, guys. Thanks for answering my questions, and I'm going to try and get a hold of your book, hopefully soon.
Yeah, ShannonWallaceNovels.com.
Yeah, I've got the website bookmarked, so yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the book. And
Shadow Killers,
again,
I'm definitely going to get that.
Oh yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I gave it a good review. And
deal.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks
All right,
again.
thank you. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
All right, any more questions from the chat room there, Mike?
I did not see any, but let me just double check. I was doing something else for a minute here. Let me just make sure nobody snuck one in the last minute or two.
Okay. And while you're looking for that, Shannon, a question I have is, what does your husband and your children think about your interest in this creature?
Well, I have a 15-year-old, and him and his friends, they think it's great. And I took them, I think it was July or August, I think July, and we went on the tour in Warrensburg of where all all the little pieces of action take place. This is the bridge where the accident happens, and this is Potter's Diner where the sheriffs have their conversation with the deputies, and they loved it. They really thought it was great. And my 4-year-old, he keeps saying, "Mom, when are we going to see Bigfoot? Well, where does Bigfoot live? Where is he? When are we going to see him?" So they think it's great.
Yeah.
And
the kids usually get a real good kick out of that. My kids would be fascinated with it more. The problem is that they had their own sighting and they haven't been out since.
Well, yeah, I could see that. If I had a sighting, I don't think I'd be out.
I think Mike had. I think I did see some questions roll through there, didn't I, Mike? There was one there that you might have missed because it wasn't capitalized.
Yeah, well, that could be it. They don't capitalize it. Sometimes I'll overlook it, but let me see. Well, there's JC again. Is that the one you're talking about?
You've got to ask it, Mike.
Okay, all right. You won't know what it means, but anyway, this is a question that JC asks every guest, and it's just self-promotion, so you won't necessarily know what it means. But he's asking, does Shannon know he is the world's greatest Bigfoot hunter?
No, I did not know that.
I would bet the answer would be no. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Hey, JC, you're not quite as well known as you think you are.
That's right.
We got to keep JC on an even keel. You know, we got to take him down a peg or two because his ego is just getting too big.
Well, since you missed this one, I'm just going to grab it real quick because I scrolled up and found it.
Okay.
It was a question from Buzzkill 2009. He says that he has read the book and he says, can you ask Shannon to explain the curse of Bigfoot in her book?
The curse. Well, this is going to give it away to my readers who haven't read the book.
We don't want to do that.
Yeah. You don't want to spoil it before you read the book, do you?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it.
But it is a Native American curse. And,
wow.
I don't know how to explain it without giving it away.
Right.
You got to read the book again if you don't get it. That's
so
what I can say.
Native American curse.
It's a Native American curse. And basically, Bigfoot was brought about to seek revenge on the white men.
Okay. All right.
It's like a voodoo version, a Native American voodoo version. He brought Bigfoot about on this earth to seek revenge on the white men.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Very cool. Now, what we'll do is have from looking at it from a standpoint now beyond your book. It's talking about Bigfoot as a real existing creature. Do you think, or what do you think, from your perspective, what it would take to actually prove that a creature like this exists?
What do I think that it would take to prove it?
Yeah.
Well, in my book, it's pretty interesting because even though it's fiction, I make it like it's realistic. It's almost like a Seinfeld episode where everybody has to grab a piece of evidence, and they all have to come together.
Right.
And everybody has to come with each of their pieces of evidence, and then all together they do have enough to say that, you know what, he does exist. So I would say that's almost like a realistic approach to it. If you could get enough evidence, in my book, they get the hair, and then they do DNA on the hair. And right there they could say, you know what, that's not horse, that's not human, that's not dog. What the hell is this? So you have DNA sample. And then I guess, the real evidence is finding Bigfoot himself. I don't know, you get the body and then you do a full examination. You say, okay, well, it's not a chimp, it's not a gorilla, it's not an ape, it's not a human. What is it? Right. It's a hybrid of some sort. What is it?
Yeah, I agree with you. Because we've had pictures, we've had
Yeah, a picture could be anything, especially what they have out there now.
Yeah, there's so many things, so many ways to trick a photo now with the Photoshop and everything else. So, yeah, I think it's going to have to be real proof. It's going to have to be a body. So,
yeah.
But it's interesting to think about. I think if we can It's funny. I've heard many people say that, in the court of law, we have cases all the time solved or tried with circumstantial evidence. And there's so much like what you could call circumstantial evidence that exists that this creature does exist. We got the footprint cast. We've got, people that have collected hair samples and sent them off and had them analyzed, and they come back, they don't have no clue what it is. If you start really adding all that up, including all the eyewitnesses, over the years, if we were in a court of law, then we could probably prove this.
In a court of law, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But what's that though? There are.
Right.
What is that, Andre the Giant? What size do you think his foot was?
Right. Oh, he had a big foot.
Yeah.
Sure. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, you might have to quiz me here, Mike. I don't know if you ever watched any of the WWE stuff, but I want to say they used to say he wore a size 24 shoe. Is that right?
Who's that, Andre the Giant?
Yeah.
It's got to be bigger than Shaq, right?
I know it was a pretty good size shoe. But I can't remember. Of course, wrestling always exaggerates size sometimes.
But you know what? You know who would know? Probably Henry, because I know he's a huge wrestling fan. Henry probably.
Yeah, Henry would know. Yep. Sean Forker would know too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a big foot, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We could put a suit on him. He could pass for one, no problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he was like
big,
500 pounds or 400.
Oh yeah.
He was he's a big guy.
Yeah, he was a pretty good sized guy, for sure. Any more questions from your chat room there, Mike? Before I go.
We had one from Bruce from Creature Seeker. Bruce in the chat. And this actually makes sense, I guess, with the last name. Bruce was curious if Shannon was related to Ray Wallace.
No.
I don't know if Shannon, if that name means much to you. I don't know if the name Ray Wallace has any meaning to you. But a number of years back, he was involved in a good number of hoaxes, and he died. What was that, Billy? About 2002, 2003.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Something like that. Yeah, or maybe 2004. It was in that range anyway. And his family came out right after he died and basically said that that he was behind all the tracks. They were trying to say that he basically created Bigfoot, which is ridiculous, because how could one guy make all the tracks that have ever been found? You know what I mean? In all the different states and all the different locations.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, Ray Wallace.
Yeah.
That's what they try to claim. That's what they try to say.
It's just totally preposterous. It can't even be. Not to mention that there's been sightings and legends about this thing for a good 400 years before Ray Wallace was even born. So I'd like to know how he pulled that one off.
Yeah, no relation to him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Henry's also reminding us that Andre the Giant did play Bigfoot in the $6 Million Man.
Yes, he did.
Did he really?
Yeah, that was a 2-part episode. Oh, actually, he was on the. It was a 2-part episode the first time he was on, but then there was another episode the following year or something where the aliens come back. Cause in the $6 Million Man show, Andre was a robot Sasquatch. It was an alien race, and they had this android Sasquatch, but he comes back in another episode and was on the show again.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good one. I remember it.
Yeah, that was a big thing in the 70s. Yeah.
Yep, Andre the Giant took on Lee Majors.
No, I definitely didn't see that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay, let me get back to my list of questioning here. Now, during your research as you were writing this book, I'm sure you looked at probably tons of sightings and everything as you was writing the book. Did you ever, when you were looking at through any of the sightings, did you ever really have like a favorite one?
I did, actually. It was actually in Texas. There was a family that was camping, and there was a little girl, and she was 9, and she reported the sighting, and her family didn't believe her. And she said that she saw 3 or 4 of them at one time, And I found that very interesting because that was the first article that I looked at that said that they saw multiple Bigfoots at once.
Right.
And it came from a 9-year-old. And I just found that interesting because 9-year-olds, the children, and they're innocent. And they don't seem, that's just the age where they don't exaggerate. It's just pure innocence. And I felt that one to be the most believable.
Right.
Well, sightings of multiple creatures at one time, like family groups, if you will, it's definitely fairly rare. You don't hear too much about it, but there have been I know for a fact there have been at least 3 sightings of multiple creatures in New York State here. There was 2 seen together up by Saranac Lake on Chazy Lake Road in 1998, I believe. There was 2 seen crossing the road by a couple that was out on a ride on their motorcycle, and there was 4 and then 5 seen together, both in the Cushing's Hill area near the town of Kinderhook around 1980.
Who reported that?
I don't remember exactly where I got these from. I have my own personal database, and what I've done is dug up every single New York report that I can find that was found, whether it was online or in a book. So some of these come from books I've read, some of them come from online websites, and I just kind of pulled them together and made my own database. I didn't keep the information of exactly where I got the sightings. I just took down the dates, the towns, the areas, and what was the how many were seen, and whether other things like footprints found and tracks found, etc. So, but I think these might be in the book we mentioned earlier in the show. I think the Cushing's Hill sightings might be the Kinderhook. There's a chapter in the Monsters of the North Woods book, the whole chapter on Kinderhook. So very very well, I could have pulled it from that book.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, Kinderhook in upstate New York. That was a very that was an area that there was a lot of activity. It was like a hotbed of activity for a good like probably 10 years or more, and then all of a sudden it just stops. It was from the late 70s through probably the early 80s. 70. Well, maybe not even 10 years. Maybe probably about 78 to I think through about 10 years through 88. Yeah, it was 78 through 88. So.
Now, did they mention the size of them?
If they did, I just basically have a database with the raw data. I didn't basically copy the actual, the wording of the report. You know what I'm saying? I just have dates, locations, was it one or more, what color was the creature. I have some that are white, some that are red, some that are brown, some that are black. I have little notations here if there was footprints found, if there was an odor noticed, if there was eye shine seen, tracks found, or unusual things like 3-toed tracks. I have a couple and stuff like that. If the tracks were in snow, but I don't have every detail. I don't have the actual verbatim, telling of what happened.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, I find that interesting because in my book I make a baby Bigfoot, and out of all my research, I haven't come across that yet.
There's a few, there's a few stories out there about baby Bigfoot. I can't recall what states they're in, but I do know that I've read them somewhere. Have you ever been to? I'm going to give you this piece of information, Shannon, because it's a great, wonderful site to go to look at a lot of the older historical sighting records, as well as a lot of the new stuff. Is BigfootEncounters.com.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've been on that one.
Yeah, that's the one that's put out by Bobby Short.
Right.
And she's got some wonderful, wonderful stuff on there. So probably could find something good on that site probably. I've been there a lot. She's got a lot of good stuff there.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't recall anything about babies on there.
Right. Okay, Shannon, can you hold on the line? We're going to take a quick break to give everybody a breather and let them have their bathroom breaks.
Sure.
So if you can hold on the line, we're going to go to a commercial, and then we'll be back probably in about 5 minutes or so, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
All right. So everybody, we will be right back after these few messages.
Sasquatch Watch Radio. Stay tuned.
Join us in the enchanting Willamette Valley next year as we kick off the first annual Oregon Sasquatch Symposium in Eugene, Oregon. This event will be held June 19th and 20th, 2010 at Lane Community College in the Forum Hall. Seating is limited and tickets will go on sale November 30th. Speakers such as Autumn Williams, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Cliff Barrettman, Tom Powell, Solly Walford, David Rodriguez, Cassie Moscow-String are only the beginning of a fantastic lineup of Sasquatch researchers. The Oregon Sasquatch Symposium was designed to bring Oregon researchers together with Oregon witnesses. In our search to discover and explore the mystery of Sasquatch, we hope to learn something deeper about ourselves. For more information about the OSS and to buy tickets, visit the website at www.oregonsasquatchsymposium.webs.com.
We hope you're enjoying the show. If you get a chance, visit the Sasquatch Watch of Virginia website. It can be found at www.sasquatchwatch.net. Sasquatch Watch of Virginia is a Bigfoot and Wildlife Scientific Field Research Association. We conduct field investigations and field research within areas of reported encounters. Our friendly research methods do not strive to harm or kill any wildlife. We seek to be cooperative and not hurtful to any person or groups or to any public or private organizations. Feel free to visit our website. Have you had a sighting of a creature? Then feel free to call our hotline to submit your encounter. Our hotline can be reached at 703-445-4287. And remember, we specialize in sightings here in the state of Virginia. Or you can report your encounter at our website under the tab Report Your Encounter. We will make certain that someone gets in touch with you. And please enjoy your visit to our website. Again, it is www.sasquatchwatch.net.
Paranormal Talk Radio, bi-monthly, Wednesday nights, 8 to 9 p.m. Central. Paranormal Talk Radio divas Melissa Hovey and Monica Rollins, never afraid to tell it like it is. Too hot for prime time. 60 minutes of take no shit, grab you by the balls. Paranormal Talk Radio. 8 to 9 p.m. Central, every other Wednesday night on Blog Talk Radio. Paranormal Talk Radio with an attitude.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Hopefully that gave everybody enough time to go and have a little break. You still with us, Shannon? You still with us, Shannon? How about you, Mike? You still with me?
I'm still there. Maybe Shannon stepped away for a little break. Doesn't realize we came back yet.
That's okay. You there, Shannon?
Yeah, I'm here.
There she is.
All right.
We thought we lost you.
No, I'm here.
She was just taking a little extended break. That's all.
That's all right. That's okay. Let's see.
We had a question or two, and
okay, go ahead.
Looks like you got a couple of Skype callers online too. But we had a question from Buzzkill again. He says he's read the book and he was wondering who the character of Dr. Ramsey was based on.
Dr. Ramsey? Nobody. He just came to my head. I don't know. He wasn't really based on anyone that I know.
Okay, so
creation.
Yeah.
So you didn't have anybody in mind somebody in real life that you knew that you based him on?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right, there you go, Buzzkill. So that was just a complete fabrication. Didn't have anything to do with anybody she knew.
No.
Okay. And let me see. I thought there had been another one, but let me scroll through quick. See lots of comments about that owl that was on that commercial for the Oregon conference. That's some howl.
Oh. That is a long one, isn't it? Long, drawn-out howl.
Yeah. Henry comments that Henry comments in the chat that the howl sounded like me in the morning after eating tacos the night before. I don't agree with you that much, Henry.
Yeah,
if that's what you sound like eating tacos. Yeah, maybe you should give them up, Henry. That's not good.
All right, well, you want me to grab one of these callers, or do you find it? Did you find the question, Mike?
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a real question though. Gettysburg Yeti, but it's not in caps, and I'm not sure that was meant for the show. So.
All right, well he'll type it in caps then.
Okay.
If it was a real question, I'm gonna grab one of these callers.
All right.
I don't know which one. They're both the same number, so whichever one of you Skype callers, speak up, and I'll let you know if it's you. So, Skype caller, speak up.
Hello.
I hear you.
That's
Who
you.
do we have on the line? The person that said hello. You're on the air. Yep.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Yep. I hear you. You're saying hello.
Hello, this is Malcolm Tibbs. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Dan. One time I seen you come on heavens now, down in Clark County, Alabama, my aunt Cheryl Phillips, she seen the Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the other people, they don't believe it and stuff, but then they try to say it was a fake suit, like the circus bear outfit or something like that, And then nobody wants to believe it, but my aunt saw it, all right. Yeah, he was reds and browns. Yeah. He about like 9 foot tall, and he could run real fast and stuff like that. Yeah, and he was pretty tall, like he could play for the Lakers, And when he ran faster than a human, and really fast. Yeah.
Maybe,
right. Dan, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. All right.
I had my finger right all over the button on that call. I had the little hand was right over on the hang up on that one.
Andrew Drew says that was a fake accent. I think you're right.
Yeah, you think at that.
All right, let's see who this next one is. These get fun sometimes. All right, we've got another Skype caller on the air.
Hey guys, it's the elusive one. I had to call back and I lost the signal. Don't have to worry about me messing around. But I do have a comment as far as a little hairy creature running around in Central Park. It's probably one of those notoriously known sewer rats out there in New York.
Yeah, they can get pretty big.
That's what I hear.
Yeah,
That's what I hear. But other than that, I just had to call back in. I lost the signal, and so I just, if you don't mind me listening, that'd be great.
All right, not a problem. Thanks for calling back in, Abe. All right, it's I tell you what, I did see an episode. I can't remember what it was, but I saw a show about those rats y'all have up there, and I was like, my God, man, those are monsters, man. I think it was on Monster Quest actually, wasn't it? I think they had one called Killer Rats or something like that on Monster Quest.
I didn't see that one.
I'm pretty sure that's where
I know the the huge rodent population in New York City has been the subject of many a TV show. I've seen it at least on 3-4 different shows.
Well, yeah, it happens. Let's see here. In your book, Shannon, what did is there any particular tool or anything that you brought out as being important in doing Bigfoot research?
No, mainly just the internet. And
okay.
One of the main characters was in a anthropology class.
Oh, okay.
So he uses his notes.
Right. What about the what do you think about migration? I always like to hear what people think, because a lot of folks think that these things may move around, from north to south, south to north during, certain parts of the year. Do you think that may be the case?
I do, especially if not a lot of people are seeing them. They have to be on the move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always been an ongoing theory for a lot of people that these things may move around. And I do have to admit that I personally have noticed here in Virginia that certain areas seem to get more sightings during certain parts of the year, which I've always thought was interesting. We just recently had another sighting in an area that had a sighting the year before at the same season. So it makes you wonder, if there's really something to that. But I'm not sure. No, any of us are. Any more questions over there? I think I saw some. Unless I'm seeing things.
Well, I see. I see a couple of comments on the sewer rats being that we brought that up.
Sewer rats.
Yeah, I see a couple of comments, and they said, yeah, that was on a Monster Quest. Then a couple of comments just before that about, the Skype callers. We all know that that's a dangerous line to pick up when it's Skype. Okay, yeah, now we got another question from Gettysburg Yeti. Yep. Well, it's not really a question. It's a suggestion for you, actually. It's all in caps. Okay. I thought it was a question. But Gettysburg Yeti says to Billy, suggestion, next time you take a Skype call, let them tell you in chat room first that they are calling and using Skype. Well, yes. That would be okay, Gettysburg Yeti, but not everybody that listens to the show is in the chat. There's a lot of people that just listen to the internet feed, but they're not in the chat room, so wouldn't always work.
A lot of people do listen live, and they don't even know that there's a chat. So, there's you one. I saw one pop up from Blue Tracker.
Yeah, Blue Tracker, just at the bottom. Yeah, just at the bottom just now. I just scrolled to the very bottom. Yep. In her book, does she have anything about the audio sounds? I guess he's asking, if in your book, if any sounds were recorded by the characters in the book, because a lot of researchers will get out there and record strange-sounding calls.
No, there are no researchers in my book.
Okay.
No, it's the book is happening as if it's now. So the characters are being chased by Bigfoot, and they're chasing Bigfoot, so they're not going on an expedition. They're not recording things. They're just kind of going about their lives, and Bigfoot's going about his life, and they keep crossing paths.
Ah, now I got you.
Right.
I see now. So it wasn't that you just based a lot of the book on things that people have experienced and seen and heard, and the folks, the characters, so to speak, in the book are just, not necessarily looking for Bigfoot. They're just, like you said, going on with their lives, and then
they happen to run into him.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're not looking for him.
Right. Okay. That actually helps me a little bit better because now I understand. Now I understand the book a lot better. Okay. Let me get back to my list of questioning. In your book, do you ever have these things like speaking a language or anything? A lot of people think that these things have a language.
No, but they do have a thought process.
Oh, okay. All right. How about? Does there seem to be more than one creature in the book, or is it typically centered around just one?
No, there is a family in my book.
Okay. So you do have several. Do the people, any of the characters in the book, are they seeking to kill the creature, or? Yeah,
they do. What happens is a lot of townspeople start disappearing and showing up murdered. Organs missing, and they don't know what's happening to these people.
Okay.
And everyone has their own theory.
Right.
And when people get together and they put their theories together, things just aren't adding up. And there are some people who did see Bigfoot, but of course nobody believes them because, one guy is a drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Another person, he's just not credible. And they just don't want to believe them because it's Bigfoot, and nobody wants to believe these people.
Right.
So they go on their little quest, and they have their evidence, but of course they don't think it's real.
Right. Well, you definitely did your research because we have a lot of that for real.
Well, and that's what I based it on. Yeah.
I was just gonna say we can sympathize with the
with the characters in the book. Yeah,
absolutely with that sentiment because how many times, Billy? I'm sure that Skype call had you nervous. How many times have you had people call up? Pranking on this very show, poking fun.
Oh yeah.
And how many times have you heard somebody say that they saw something and they told people they thought they could trust, even like friends of theirs, and then were mocked for months on end afterwards, and
Yeah.
It's hard to know who you can entrust with your with your encounters.
Right, and that's how the story starts out. The guy sees Bigfoot, and he doesn't know who he can tell, and then his wife says, well, you're drunk, and you're probably smoking weed, and nobody's going to believe you anyhow.
Right.
So he doesn't know who he could tell at that point, and that's how the story starts.
Right. All right. Now, let's see. We have another New York caller from the 516 area code. You're on the air. Hello, 516.
Hello?
Is this John again?
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
My name is Eric Miller. I'm also from Long Island, like the author Shannon. And
cool.
I just had a question for her. I had read her book, and I really enjoyed it. And I noticed that she lends a lot of complexity to the character of Bigfoot when I was reading it. I grew up camping a lot, and my father told me lots of stories about Bigfoot, and they made him seem like a bloodthirsty kind of creature, But Shannon's book seemed to lend a little bit of inner dialogue with the character, and I was curious to know, is that the kind of impression she's trying to give of Bigfoot? Is that what she thinks of him as a creature, that he's got a higher intelligence and that he's got some kind of internal struggle, or is that just the way her book manifests itself in my mind? And I was hoping she might be able to answer that question for me.
All right.
Yes, he does have an inner struggle. He absolutely does.
Okay. So he's more. You're trying to portray him as less of like a a monster and more of like I guess a being or a creature that just exists in the same world as us and is having its own experience, I guess.
Yeah, he. If you read the book, which obviously you did, you see that he is faced with a moral dilemma.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely appreciated that perspective because I had never really, encountered it before. I just thought of Bigfoot going up as some scary monster lived in the woods, and freaked me out and gave me some kind of, like shivers on my spine and stuff like that. But I definitely did enjoy in your book that he had more of an emotional capacity, and that it was refreshing, I thought. So.
Yes, thank you. Like I mentioned before, he does have a thought process.
Great. Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed the book. You did a great job, and I just wanted to tell you that and get your answer to that question. So thanks a lot, and good luck with your sales and stuff.
Thank you, and thank you for picking up on that.
Oh, no problem. All right.
Thanks
Take care.
for calling.
Bye.
Hey, man, that's great, Mike. We got a bunch of people from Long Island calling in, man.
Yeah, I see. Right, what is that, like the third one already?
Yeah,
third one.
Great.
Good caller plus the author plus me. This is a whole Long Island fest tonight, Bill. You're the odd man out down there in Virginia.
I think Shannon must have done some advertising. What'd you do, Shannon? Put some flyers up out on the poles?
Well, you know what? I have been selling a lot of books around here.
Yeah. I've always done that too. It's really cool when you have a local author, in your area that writes a book. You always want to read it, because they live near you, And I think it's more interesting to a lot of people when they know the author, or know that she lives nearby or whatever. So that's interesting. That's like I've got an author here that lives not too far from me down in Richmond, and she wrote a book, and I just had to get it. So it was an interesting book. So
yeah, well, Bigfoot's not that big around here, but I am.
Right. Yeah.
I've been having a few local book signings.
That's good. That's good. Well, it sounds like this is going to be another good one for you. So hopefully when you get some book signings on this, you'll get a bunch more of those sold. So that'll be great.
That'll be good because, like I said, there's a lot of research into it.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you worked for a long time on that book. I mean, 5 years is a long time.
5 years. Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Hey, Shannon?
Well, the story kept on changing.
I think I might have just answered Andy Drew's question. Didn't I, Mike?
Yeah. He just typed that in. Yeah. How long did it take her to complete the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 5 years she worked on that. So.
Hey, Shannon.
Yeah.
Are you going to be having any sightings? Exactly. Got me thinking about the sightings and encounters. You going to have any signings locally here on Long Island in the near future?
Yeah, I am going to be in Barnes & Nobles in Manhattan in 2 weeks. I don't have the exact date yet, but it will be in about 2 weeks. And that will be posted on my website on the exact date.
Good deal.
So that's in Manhattan, though. Nothing.
Yeah, that's in Manhattan. Long Island, I'm not really sure yet.
Yeah, I know they do a lot of signings at a place called the Book Review up in Huntington. They do a lot of author in-store signings there.
Yeah, I just met Vince Flynn there on October 30th. And I actually gave him my book, and I bought one of his, so it was nice. It's a nice place over there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very author-friendly, I guess is the proper term. They bring in a lot of people for book signings there. Also, different authors too, not just all different types. So.
Yeah, I gotta make. Yeah, I'm south, they're north. I gotta make my way north.
Yep. Well, maybe we'll get some more callers from up in New York. I'll give out the number because I haven't even given it out tonight. So they're actually finding us by mistake, I think. If anyone wants to call in and ask Shannon a question, the call-in number is 347-237-5070. I'll repeat that again. It's 347-237-5070. It'd be great if you could call in. Well, so far we've had a lot of good callers from New York, so definitely call in. want to hear from you, and of course anyone else too want to hear from you. Let me see if my list a question here. Let's see. How about, do you ever give any clues in your book, Shannon, about where these things might be living, or you know, do they have living in a nest or in a cave, or?
Yeah, I do. Abandoned houses. Yeah, I make them very smart in my book.
Yep.
Like that other caller called in, Eric Mullen.
Uh-huh.
They do have a thought process. They do have inner struggles, and they think. They think like humans, and they do. They find resources and they use them. Abandoned houses and abandoned cars.
Right.
Yeah, they break into things. They use what they have. They use their hands. They use their feet. They climb.
Right.
Yeah, they're very strong and they're very smart in my book.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, again, that makes sense. I think these things are opportune creatures. I mean, they're obviously going to take every opportunity they have if they need some shelter. So I don't really see that as being too far-fetched. I mean, if there's, an old abandoned house back out in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness there, somewhere in the Adirondacks, I'm sure they would take every advantage, of it. So,
right.
I don't think that's a way out there theory at all that they would do that. But I don't know. Is there a lot of cave systems? Mike might know this. Is there a lot of cavern systems up in the Adirondacks, Mike?
I don't think I wouldn't say there's a lot, but I think there's some, because I know, that there we believe anyway that there are some right in one of our research areas. It's just we haven't been able to get in that deep to confirm it, because it's complete bushwhacking for miles. There's absolutely no trails whatsoever that go into this area, and you just straight up bushwhacking for miles at a clip. So we haven't been able to confirm it, but yeah, I'm sure in certain areas, especially in the high peaks areas, I'm sure there are some caves.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of studies on the cavern systems and stuff, and I don't know that Tom has either, but that would be interesting to look at, actually, now that we think about it. But has there been any more questions from the chat room?
Yes, we did. We had a question from Andy Drew, and he's asking if there is a map in the book.
Yes, there is. There is. It's I had it. It made it to look like it was drawn from a child. That's just the style of the book. I wanted it like that. It's not of the whole town of Warrensburg, but it's of the main points where some of the kills happen.
Right.
So the map in the book is basically the Warrensburg area, the surrounding area?
Yeah, where some of the main parts of the story happen, like some of the major kill points.
Okay.
All right.
It's just to have an idea in your mind of where Bigfoot does his kills.
Right.
Not all of them, just a few.
Yeah, well, there's certainly been enough sightings in that area, that's for sure. Right around Lake George, there's been all sorts of sightings.
Right, and that's what I'm hearing.
Just a few miles from Warrensburg, there's a place called Deer Leap. It's right on the edge of the lake, and there's a place called Bloomer Mountain. It's right there, and there's been all sorts of sightings in that area. And what's the name of that other town there? Sabbath Day Point has been a hotbed of activity, and these are all, basically right around that lake, just a few miles northeast from Warrensburg.
Yep. Yeah, Mike keeps up with all the sightings around there, so he's a good resource.
Right, and it's interesting that these are all areas with water.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I know a lot of people talk about, like in the wintertime when, I guess Lake George does freeze when it gets really, really cold.
Yep.
Freezes pretty good, and a creature could probably easily cross Lake George without a problem in the dead of winter.
Yeah, well, that has been a theory of Chuck in Nessra for many years, because there's an area called the Narrows in Lake George, which is, as it sounds, it's a very narrow part of the lake where other parts are very wide, and there's a string of islands even in between the two shores. So if you imagine if that froze over, it wouldn't have to even be out in the open, so to speak, for very long, because it could cross to one of these little islands and then kind of hold up for a little while and be hidden there, and then it could run across to the next closest island, and so on, and island hop, if you will. And if the lake was frozen over, it could certainly do that, and the islands would give it cover. In other words, it wouldn't have to cross the entire expanse of the lake, which is miles wide, and basically, have this big silhouette. It would have places to hide and to rest and to to hole up for a while. So that's
right. And Tongue Mountain is right there too.
Yeah. And I don't know if you're familiar, but just a couple of years ago, there was an encounter by two women hikers on Tongue Mountain that they were basically driven off the 5-mile mountain trail, basically by a unseen rock thrower that basically followed them all the way down the mountain, throwing rocks at them.
No, but you know what? I get that a lot in the research, and I actually put that in my book. And one of the characters goes off into the woods not far, and he gets a rock thrown at him.
Yeah. Well,
I hear they do that a lot.
Yes, this happened just a couple of years ago, and like I said, it was two women hikers, and they were, basically, chased off the mountain, if you will. This happened in 2007.
Wow. Very cool. Got a lot of stuff going on up there in New York, Mike. You gotta keep up with it. Go up there and catch one.
Yeah. All we got to do is bring you and get you and Tom back up there. You guys seem to attract them like a magnet, like a moth to a flame. We just got to get you and Tom together out there. You guys are the best Bigfoot bait I know, and you guys haven't been back up.
Next, you'll have me tied to a tree.
No, that's JC. We're gonna tie him up and put a pork chop necklace around him.
So Shannon, how many people get killed?
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. Well, there's people and animals, so, and I would say people, maybe about 5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
Animals, maybe 10, 11.
Wow. He's on a rampage.
He is. It's not Harry and Henderson's.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's favorite movie. I think everybody portrays and hopes that it's like that.
Yeah. No, this one's mean.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Oh, look at here, we got another New York caller, guys.
Yep, another 516. That's Long Island.
Another 516. You're on the air.
Hey, it's Mike. How you doing?
Good, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, Harry and the Hendersons, just like Lithgow, who took on the part of the Trinity Killer in the Dexter series. He became a serial killer too. He was. He's not so friendly anymore either. But no, I actually ran into Mrs. Wallace here in a bookstore. I was browsing through the horror section. I'm more of like a horror, sometimes sci-fi kind of guy, but more horror and thriller type of novels. And standing there looking at Stephen King novels, and she walks up to me and says, "Hey, you want to read something better than Stephen King?" She pulls this book right out of the bag. She was trying to put some stuff on consignment, I guess, but I took a chance. I said, "What the heck? Let me go with it." And do you remember me from the store?
Yes, I do remember you.
I mean, it was a little odd at first, but I said, maybe this is, serendipitous. So what the heck? I'll take a chance. And It's a good read. I really liked it. You know, good character development. You know, you really get invested in the people who are trying to figure out what's going on with all these killings. And what's interesting is everybody's got their own ideas about it. You know, everybody's got a theory. It's just like everybody calling in. It's got a theory. You know, people have different perspectives, different ideas about what's happening. But you know, it takes a while for people to try to sort everything out. And it's a good read. I really recommend it. You know, so
what's your? So you read the book, Mike? I mean, did the book, did the book give you any curiosities as to whether or not this thing really exists, or have you ever really thought about that?
Well, you know, I've been interested in cryptozoology. I did a lot of research into it. You know, a few years ago, I kind of went through a phase where I was into that kind of stuff. You know, the coelacanth and the Loch Ness monster and all that kind of stuff. And what I found interesting was that although the book is fiction, she incorporated a lot of traditional elements of Bigfoot lore. You know, like lily pads. Being a food source or something like for comfort for them, wind chimes, music, that type of thing that they're attracted to. The violent side, exploring that, of the Bigfoot, why the bones are never found. I mean, she's got a lot of little pieces of research that's been done by people, and it's all incorporated in the book in a pretty neat way. So, it's. I don't think people who believe in Bigfoot would be very disappointed with it. It doesn't, it's not a, you know what I mean? The way she describes the Bigfoot is very interesting.
Right. Well, there you go, Shannon, another fan.
Thank you.
I'm into it. So looking forward for another one. I want installment number 2. I want to know what happens. It kind of a little bit of suspense at the end there, so, won't give it away. But, hey. No problem. Thank you for a good read, and I wish you the best.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, take care, guys.
All right. Well, sounds like you've got a lot of people interested in the book there, Shannon. So it sounds like a good one. So I would advise everybody to go to ShannonWallaceNovels.com, and then for those of you who like Amazon, she says she'll have it on Amazon.com. In about a couple months, so get the book when you can. Now, is the book already available in some of the bookstores, Shannon?
Just on consignment in a few local stores around here.
Okay, so you
mainly just on the website.
Okay. So if you want a book, guys, especially anyone that's not around that Long Island, New York area. You'll have to get on the website to get the book. Again, that's ShannonWallaceNovels.com, and there will be a link on there where you can get the book. And for all you Amazon lovers, of course, in about 2 months you'll be able to get it there. So, all right. Well, Shannon, it's been great having you on the show. Hoping that we was able to generate some excitement about people, getting people to read the book. So if you end up having any major signings or anything come up, please feel free to give us a call during one of the shows and definitely let us know about it.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you being on the show, and hopefully we can, if you write that second book, we'll get you again.
Oh, I will. And thanks for having me.
Oh, you're mighty welcome. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Take care, Shannon. Great talking to you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was great, man. We had a bunch of New York callers. That was great.
Yeah, all right, at least 4.
That was great.
4,
well,
and
I like the
Shannon and
it's
myself.
good.
The whole switchboard was 516, except for you, Billy.
I know.
and the couple of Skype callers.
That's right. That was great, man. That just goes to show that she's making a real good local impact with that book. And, that's good because when she puts that thing out and it goes to Amazon and stuff like that, may have generated enough interest here to people to start buying the book. So
yeah,
sounds like I'm definitely going to get it. I mean, I've got to get it now because she's got me wondering now about the Native American thing. So
yeah,
I'm going to have to get the book now so that I can read about
what
that.
the whole curse is about, right?
That's right. Got me going now. So, Andy Drew, you're welcome. We love it when you guys ask the questions because you guys are the ones listening to the show, and we want you all to be able to ask the questions that you want to hear answers to. So, you know what? We're going to do something that we haven't never done, Mike.
What's that?
Do you want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the room tonight?
We could do that if you wanted to do that.
All right, go right ahead.
All right. Let me scroll back to the top here, and we'll just go through the list quickly. I see a lot of familiar names that I see on our show, Bob and our show, and other shows. You see a lot of the same people. They make the rounds in the circuit, so to speak, show to show. Tonight with us we have Amgems XY. We got Andy Drew, Bison 26, Blue Tracker, Buzzkill 2009, Creature Seeker, Creek, Dan R, Derek D. Law, Gettysburg Yeti, Greenie is another Yeti. I'm the Long Island Yeti. He's Gettysburg. We got John Cartwright. I don't know. He seems to be popping up just about every place. Kite Squatch, Michigan Mama, Mohican Hikers, Paranormal Guys, Polypodium, Shasta 3000, that's Vicky, Stymie 02, The Kingdom Keys, Watch One Mike, and Weary One.
All right. And we got a minute left, and in that minute I've got to make this announcement. This is a show that I have been wanting to do for a long time. We've been on the air now for over a year, and I have been asking this particular guest that we're going to have next Monday night to the show, and we have her. Next Monday night, November 30th, we will have one and only Autumn Williams on the show from Oregon Bigfoot. So if anyone has ever wanted to ask Autumn a question, this is your chance. Next Monday night, Autumn Williams will be on the show.
And she doesn't do very many shows, I can tell you that.
No, as a matter of fact, she did the one on Night Callers, and that was the first time I think I heard her on the show. She did an excellent job on that show. And I'm hoping, I'm not hoping, I know she will. She'll do an excellent job on our show next Monday night. So anyone that wants to ask Autumn a question, this is your chance next Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern here on Sasquatch Watch Radio. Tune in, and we'll have the Autumn Williams from Oregon Bigfoot on the show. Mike, do you have anything you'd like to add before we go off the air?
Just to say, Kite Squatch, I think you're a bit early. He typed the question for Autumn in the chat room already. Have to wait till next week there, Kite, but we'll get it asked. Thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it. And thanks to everybody listening and our friends in the chat. And we'll catch you all next Monday night.
That's right. Good night, everyone.
A legend silently stalks the forest around the world, leaving giant man-like footprints in its wake. Skeptics scoff, while the true believers search for the answers, and those who have seen it will never forget. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, Blog Talk Radio. Billy Willard and the Blog Squatcher present Sasquatch Watch Radio. Your hosts Billy Willard and Dee Donlin bring you
60 minutes of the latest news and information, newly discovered evidence, and interviews with those searching for the truth and those who have seen it. Do you believe? Want to know the truth? It's out there waiting. Monday nights, 9 p.m., Blog Talk Radio. Sasquatch Watch Radio. Sit down, hold on tight, get ready, because it is about to go down. blogtalkradio.com/Sasquatch Watch Radio.
Ah, the sizzle of McDonald's sausage. It's enough to make you crave your favorite breakfasts. Enough to head over to McDonald's. Enough to make you really wish this commercial were scratch and sniff.
And if you're a sausage person, now get 2 satisfyingly savory sausage McGriddles, sausage biscuits, or sausage burritos for just $3.33. Or mix and match. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The United States Border Patrol has exciting and rewarding career opportunities with the nation's largest law enforcement organization. Border Patrol agents enjoy great pay, outstanding federal benefits, and up to $20,000 in recruitment incentives. If you are looking for a way to serve something greater than yourself, consider the U.S. Border Patrol. Learn more online at cbp.gov/careers/USBP. That's cbp.gov/careers/USBP.